Hi, I'm Michael Hyatt from MICHAELHYATT.com and author of the New York Times bestseller platform, Get Noticed in a Noisy World. Welcome to Easy WordPress Setup 2.0. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to launch a self-hosted WordPress blog in 20 minutes or less. And as a bonus, I'll show you how to write and publish your very first blog post. No, you won't need any technical expertise. I've proven that. The original screencast I recorded has already helped almost 2,000 people just like you get started with WordPress. I'm going to keep these instructions really simple and walk you through the process one click at a time. In essence, you'll be looking over my shoulder watching me do it on screen. Now, I'm not going to teach you what a self-hosted WordPress blog is. I'm assuming you already know that, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. But if you don't, you can follow a link I've included in the notes below this video. It explains the differences between hosted and self-hosted WordPress. Let me just say that in a word, the difference is about control. Self-hosted WordPress gives you more control over your blog, and it's what most serious bloggers use. It's what I use on my blog at MICHAELHYATT.com. So let's get started. I've organized this tutorial around 7 simple steps. Step number 1, gather your resources. Here's what you're going to need to set up your self-hosted WordPress blog. Number 1, you'll need a domain name. In other words, a name for your blog. This is what people type in the address bar on the internet browser to get to your blog. Mine is MICHAELHYATT.com. Yours might be your name, or it may be the name of your company, but it doesn't have to be registered yet. In fact, it's better if it hasn't been. Number 2, you'll need a credit card. And number 3, you'll need to allocate about 20 minutes to work through this tutorial and get set up. That's it. In this tutorial, we're going to set up a blog called blogsetuptutorial.com that will eventually be the permanent home of this video and some other resources I plan to add for beginning bloggers. Which leads us to step number 2, set up a hosting account. A hosting account is where your blog will live. This is a server, in other words, a computer, in the cloud, a remote computer, where you will rent space to install the WordPress software and manage your blog. Now, if that causes your eyes to glaze over or you don't understand it, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just understand that this is where your blog is going to live. There are a lot of hosting services available, hundreds, maybe even thousands, but I recommend one, and the one I recommend is Bluehost, and I recommend Bluehost for 7 specific reasons. Reason number 1, support. Bluehost has great 24/7 support via phone, email, or chat. And I've had a few opportunities to test it myself, and I've always found them to be quick, courteous, and knowledgeable. Really terrific support. Reason number 2, reliability. Bluehost is super reliable. It has an uptime average of 99.9%, and that's honestly as good as it gets. Reason number 3, ease of use. Bluehost is very easy to use, as you'll see. In fact, shockingly so. You'll wonder why you haven't set up a hosting service before now. Reason number 4, WordPress. WordPress only officially recommends 3 hosting services, and Bluehost is number 1. It hosts over 850,000 WordPress blogs. Reason number 5, no limits. Bluehost offers unlimited disk space, unlimited bandwidth, unlimited domains, that is, you can host multiple blogs on one account, and unlimited email accounts. Reason number 6, affordability. Bluehost is inexpensive, about $4.95 to $6.95 a month, depending on which plan you pick. And in a moment, I'll tell you how to get it for just $3.95 a month. So hang with me. I'll tell you in just a minute. Reason number 7, values. In its terms of service, Bluehost prohibits pornography and other adult content, and it strictly enforces this standard and deletes sites that violate it. Now, I like this because, frankly, it squares with my values. I don't want my blog sitting on the same server as some pornographer. Now, I don't know if you share that value. I'm not trying to impose my values on you, but if that value is important to you, Bluehost is one of the few hosting services that has that policy and enforces it. In fact, I checked the other 4 most popular hosting services, and all of them allow for pornography. And in my view, these 7 reasons make Bluehost a no-brainer. So to get to the site, go to michaelhyatt.com/Bluehost. There you go. Yes, that's an affiliate link, which means Bluehost pays me a commission if you sign up through me. But the truth is that all the hosting services do that. I could have chosen any of them. Any of them would have been happy to pay me a commission. The reason I recommended Bluehost is for the 7 reasons I outlined just a moment ago. I should also mention that I don't use Bluehost for MICHAELHYATT.com. At this point, my site is just too big. My blog is running on 2 dedicated and mirrored servers, and Bluehost runs shared servers rather than dedicated servers, so it doesn't really work for me with my level of traffic, which is now hundreds of thousands of unique visitors a month. But my other sites are running on Bluehost, including my wife's site, and I've recommended it to hundreds of bloggers and other family members. I've never had a single complaint. Keep in mind, Bluehost offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, which you can see right here on their homepage. It is also written into their terms of service, which defines this as 30 days, so there's really zero risk on your part. Okay, so now if you haven't already, go to the link, MICHAELHYATT.com/Bluehost. You should be at the Bluehost homepage now. Click on the Sign Up Now button, and now you need to decide whether you need a domain name or you already have a domain name. Now we're going to choose the first option. We're going to assume that you haven't previously registered a domain using some other domain registration service. Now, if you have previously registered a domain, for example, at GoDaddy.com, you'll want to pick the second option. I'm not going to go through that on this screencast today, but I will explain it below in the notes. It requires an additional step. So enter your domain name and choose the appropriate extension. And you can see that particular domain name wasn't registered previously because it cleared it, and now it's available for me to put in my account information. And that's the next step. Fill in the account information. Now, I do this pretty quickly using a password management system called 1Password. So I'm just going to click in my billing information. I'm going to type in my email address because it didn't do that for some reason. And then I'm going to scroll down, select the package information I want. And as you can see here, the prices range from $3.95 to $5.95 per month. It all depends on the length of your commitment. Now note, if you didn't use my affiliate link, you're not going to see these prices. This special price, $1 per month off the regular price, is only available if you use my affiliate link. If you're unsure, select the 12-month price. It's more expensive, but you only have to commit for a year. If you are sure, select the 24 to 36-month price. It's the least expensive. But keep in mind, you will be required to pay for this in advance. That's how Bluehost is able to offer these super low prices. So 12 months at $5.95 a month is going to be $71.40 per year and $71.40 up front. 24 months at $4.95 per month is going to be $59.40 per year and $118.80 up front. And 36 months at $3.95 a month is going to be $47.40 a year and $142.20 up front. Now, I would not sign up for any of the other services that it lists down here. So I would just uncheck those. As you can see, I'm doing here. I'm going to go ahead and select the 12-month price. And then go down here to the billing information. And you want to enter that. Again, I'm going to do it from 1Password because it's super fast for me to do it that way. And then I'm going to make sure that I've clicked on the confirm. I have read and agreed to the terms of service, cancellation policy, blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to click on the next button. At this point, Bluehost is processing your order in the background, clearing your credit card information, and all the rest. Now, the system here is offering you the opportunity to purchase some upgrades, and you can do so if you wish. Personally, I wouldn't do this. I would just click on Complete at the very bottom of the page. You can always come back and buy these later if you want to. And now the system says, congratulations, you've now set up your Bluehost account. But you're not quite done because you've got to create a password. So click on the link that says Create Your Password. And I'm going to use the password generator so that I can create a very complex password so that my account has less likelihood of getting hacked. So you just click on that. It gives you a password down here. And you can paste this. I'm going to actually copy this to the clipboard by pressing Command-C on a Mac or Control-C on a PC, because we're going to need this here in just a minute. But I'm going to click Paste, which pastes this into the appropriate fields. And then I click on the Create button. And that essentially is going to create my account. Now I can log into Bluehost. And here, the domain name should already be inserted, and mine is blogsetuptutorial.com. And now I'm going to enter that password that I entered previously, and I'm just going to paste this in. If you didn't paste it in, you were probably sent an email, and so you can insert it again. But then click on Login, and again, it's going to churn. And it basically says, gives you another upsell opportunity to buy this or enroll in Cloudflare. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click on No Thanks. Take me to the C panel or the Control panel. And so it says, now wait while I'm logged in. And by the way, 1Password up here is asking me to enter the information I want to save this in. And I always do it this way. I put Bluehost.com, and then in parentheses, I have several Bluehost accounts. So I'm going to set this one up for log setup tutorial.com, and that way I'll remember which one this is when I go to log in again. Now you've got this welcome screen sitting right here, and you don't need to see this. This is what I'm here for. I'm going to help you get started. So you just can say, no thanks, I'm fine. Don't be overwhelmed by the control panel. I know there's a ton of options here. You really don't have to pay attention to anything except this WordPress one at the bottom, because at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to install WordPress. So that leads us to step number 3, install WordPress. Click on this button right here. And essentially, this is going to take you to a bunch of scripts that you can run that are all related to WordPress. And again, this may be a little bit overwhelming because there are so many options, but all we have to do is click on the WordPress one right here. Click on the link. And this is going to ask us, do we want to install WordPress? And we do. So you're going to click on the install button. And this is going to give you a 4-step process that allows you to set up your WordPress blog. And this is going to install WordPress. It's going to get it set up. It's very easy to use. Step number 1, you're going to have to answer the question, where would you like WordPress installed? And you want it installed in this home directory, not a subdirectory. So you're going to leave this blank. Step number 2, select your advanced options. And here you're going to put the name of the site. And in my case, it's blog setup tutorial. And you want to click this link, which gives you your administrative options. And you're going to want to use a name other than admin. I don't recommend this one because that's the one that hackers guess first. So use your name or something else. And that's exactly what I'm going to use here. I'm going to use the administrative password that they've suggested because, again, I'm assuming that Bluehost is giving me a complex password, and it certainly looks complex, so that it's less likely to be hacked. And then I'm going to put in my email address. I'm going to make sure that this checkbox is selected, automatically create a new database. And then in step 3, I'm going to uncheck all these plugins and themes. This is just another upsell attempt, and I don't need all this stuff. And if I do, I can come back and get it later. And then step number 4, the legal information. I'm going to check I have read the terms and conditions of the GPL v2, whatever that is. Then I'm going to click on complete. And I might get an error message here. It won't be unusual, and I did. It says, oops, the directory exists. Are you sure you want to override its contents? The reason that this script is asking you for that is if you already had a website set up, maybe you already had content on that website, and now you're trying to install WordPress, it doesn't want you overriding your website, but this for you is a brand new website, so it doesn't matter. All that to say, just click directory exists. I understand that continuing will overwrite the files. Now, make sure that the plugins and the themes are unchecked because it rechecked them and now click on Complete. Now it should go ahead and begin to install WordPress. And you can see right here this progress wheel telling you what it's doing. It's uploading stuff, it's extracting stuff, it's going through all the machinations to get WordPress installed on your server. And this is going to take a minute, so be patient. The nice thing about it is it's telling you what it's doing, so it's not just like you may think it's hanging, but it's not. All right, so we've been successful. WordPress has been installed, and now you get a section on the same screen with your site URL, the login URL, your username, and your password. Write this down, or better yet, take a screenshot. Bluehost will also email this to you, but I like to be safe. So now we're making serious progress, and you successfully installed WordPress, so let's take it for a spin. Step number 4, load your new blog. Now, one of the things I would do while we're on this screen to make it easy on yourself is go ahead and highlight with the cursor your password, and then copy it to the clipboard by pressing Command-C on the Mac or Control-C on a PC. Now we've got the password on the clipboard because we're going to use it in a minute. Now what you're going to do is select the site URL. This is the public location of your blog, and it looks like this. Not very impressive, not very fancy, but that's it. And it says, welcome to WordPress. This is your first post. Edit or delete it, then start blogging. And this brings us to step 5, log into WordPress. Now, scroll down to the login link. You see that here. Click on it, and this will take you to your WordPress login page. Now you're going to enter your username and password. Remember, you wrote these down in step 3. You also copied the password to the clipboard, and all you're going to have to do is paste it. So I'm going to put my username and then my password, and I'm going to click on the Remember Me checkbox so I don't have to enter this every time I come to this login screen. Then I'm going to click Login. And you might see a welcome screen here. I'm not seeing one here. I'm also going to save this login information to 1Password and also to Chrome. You can do that or not do that as you wish. But what we're looking at now is the WordPress, what's often called the back end or the WordPress dashboard. The front end is what we were just looking at. That's what readers are going to see, your normal blog site. The back end is what you see, how you control what appears on the front end, which brings us to step 6. Write your first post. Click on Posts, Add New, and this is the screen you're going to get, the Add New Post screen. It's very simple. We're going to type here, welcome to my blog. And then down here, I'm going to actually enter the blog post. And for the sake of time, so you don't have to watch me type this out, I'm not a very good typist, as you've probably observed. I've got a little macro set up so that all the text gets typed in using a really nifty program called Typinator, which is something I use to save me keystrokes in a lot of different programs. But that enters everything in, and all you have to do now is click on the Publish button. At this point, WordPress has actually published your post for the whole world to see. You're still looking at the WordPress backend. This is where we make the sausage, but your post is displayed on the WordPress front end. That's where we serve up the sausage. So click on the View Post link right here, and voila. You've just published your first blog post, and you can see this is what we entered on the back end. Congratulations. That brings us to step number 7, which is to bookmark your blog. So I'm going to have you save 2 bookmarks, one of the WordPress front end and one of the WordPress back end, so that you can get to them quickly when you need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the bookmark menu item, and this is in Google Chrome. Your browser may be different, but I'm going to bookmark this page. And I'm going to set up, and I've already got it entered in here, blogsetuptutorial.com. That's the name of my website. Your blog will be a different name, but set that up, and I'm going to save it into a folder called blog. So when I click on done, that bookmark is set up here in blog. Now, if I go back to the back end where we were, and I'm going to go up actually to the dashboard, because that's where I want WordPress to load when I first go into the back end. And then I'm going to also save this page. And here's what I'm going to call this. I'm going to call this blog setup tutorial.com admin, just to remind me that this is the administrative section of the site, the back end of the site, and I'm going to save that like that. So now I've got under the blog folder 2. So I can go to the front end or I can go to the back end with a click of a mouse. It's that easy. Well, that's about it. If you've followed my instructions, you now have your very own self-hosted WordPress blog. Congratulations. Probably the next thing you'll want to do is select a theme for your WordPress blog, and you can find thousands of these themes on the internet. Just Google free WordPress themes. Personally, I'd recommend spending a little money and buying a premium theme. There are several theme vendors I've used. I recommend woothemes.com, elegantthemes.com, studiopress.com, and DIYthemes.com. All of those are professional themes. They all have their pluses and their minuses, but all of them are professional grade themes and will work for you. Now, if you want to learn about WordPress, I recommend WP101.com. This is basically a WordPress tutorial site with videos on how to do everything and anything in WordPress. It's a great site. I've got links in the post below to the themes and the WP101.com site. Just like the Bluehost link, they're affiliate links. But if I've helped you in this screencast, you can help me by clicking on those links. If you don't want to, that's fine too. It just helps me continue to provide helpful resources like this. For more information about blogging and building your platform, visit my blog at MICHAELHYATT.com. Thanks.